It's your boy, Yungmuscle CEO, once again, Brian Molina. So check this out, guys. The reason why I titled this video this shit, and to people that might be new to my channel, is pretty simple, man. Y'all know that I'm new to the YouTube game. I'm new to the YouTube fitness community. I damn near had to fucking like research this shit in the beginning to figure out what the hell bro science was, like, or bro science and a science motherfucker. Like, dudes were calling me that shit, and I was like, I didn't even know how to fucking react, because outside of YouTube, this shit doesn't, well, that terminology doesn't really exist. What it represents does exist. And the thing I said in other videos, guys, like blogs and shit, I really like this YouTube thing, man, because when it comes to, like, you know, a business-oriented person or to a success-driven person, a lot of times you're spending a lot of time alone, and you're reflecting on your life and reflecting on the moves that you make and reflecting on your commitment by yourself. So you spend a lot of time by yourself, and I'm pretty sure that any person who's striving to attain a certain level of success can pretty much you know, attain to that and hold that to be true. But I think the cool thing about YouTube is that instead of talking right here up in myself to myself, man, I could share my thoughts with y'all, and if it can reach one of you guys and help you guys out, then man, that's gratification for me. It makes me feel better, you know. So the reason why I think this thing, and I've mentioned it a bunch of times in other videos about science versus bro science, is because there's so many young dudes out there, and this is like a sincere video, guys, not like fucking around and joking like a lot of other people do, because I'm sincerely so in love and committed to this sport, to this lifestyle. I'll say it's a lifestyle of bodybuilding, because no matter where I go in my life, bodybuilding has pretty much built the foundation of the success principles and the discipline principles, and you know, instilled within me so many qualities that are going to transfer over into whatever I pursue in life. So I'm true to this game. I love this game, you know, like, and I'm a youngster in the game, but you know, we coming up, baby. But anyways, there's so many dudes that are thirsty for answers, you know. And I remember being that age, man. I'm talking to y'all like I'm old. I'm barely turned 23, but and I'm still hungry for knowledge. But there's so many dudes. I remember being that age, like 18, 17, 19, searching for answers, you know. Not just in bodybuilding, but in life, you know, being hungry for answers, hungry for knowledge, because I wanted to make the right moves and the right choices in my life. And I'm gonna break this down, man, this whole bro science and science shit for you right now. Growing up, to the people who have been following me and to the people who really do know me, y'all know, and I've kind of mentioned it here and there, kind of like on my latest Instagram post. As cool as my following gets bigger, man, I want y'all to know who I am, man, because I feel like, you know, the more I reveal, man, the more connection that we get, and the more that we can start feeding off each other. But, you know, my recent post on Instagram, when I was growing up, guys, fellas, guys, girls, everybody, I didn't really exactly have examples of how to live my life in a positive way. You know, like, there weren't too many people or motherfuckers in my community that I could go to as a go-to example of how to be successful. You know, like, I didn't see successful people growing up where I grew up. I saw motherfuckers going on long vacations. And to anybody who's growing up in a community like mine knows what a long vacation is. So my initial becoming a man initially for me, I had a completely different concept of what becoming a man was going to be for me, for Brian Molina, growing up, because the examples of the men that I saw and the young men coming up and the old OGs or older dudes in my community weren't exactly what you would call a conventional example of, you know, what a successful young man is. So for me personally, I didn't really have an example to cite and be like, okay, I'm going to model my life over after this individual or that individual, point that individual out, and I'm going to use him as an example in which to follow in his footsteps or aspire to be like. I didn't have that example, you know, so I didn't have that resource available to me in my community, you know, within the realms of my community. And to anybody who has not grown up in a community like that, don't realize how good you have it when you have a ready example. Even if you don't realize it, you're surrounded by people within your community, by your family, your parents, people like that you could point to and be like, yeah, you know what, that person is successful, or you know what, this person looks like me and I look like him, therefore, like I could, like I can relate to him, like because I mean, you got to look at it from an all encompassing perspective. I didn't see there's not too many successful Hispanics out there running around. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you come from a community like mine. So like that aside, I didn't have examples at my disposal to choose from. And then number two, nobody's really written a book about the shit about like how to get up out of this particular predicament or situation that I was in growing up. So I didn't have the science, and I didn't have the bro science of how to uplift myself up from where I was from. So how did I learn? It's trial and error. That's how I learned. I made a lot of mistakes growing up. But I was intelligent about the moves that I did make, because one thing held true to me when I was growing up was that I had a dream. And I knew that the things that were going on in my community, even though they were so normalized and so normal for these motherfuckers to experience every single day, I knew that in my heart that even if it was normal or not normal by whoever standard, whatever normal is, it wasn't for me, because I was dreaming and seeing and envisioning something in my head greater than what my community was. So I learned through trial and error on my own. And I became one out of two people to graduate high school in my neighborhood from my generation that year. Okay? Out of all the, homies, people, friends that I grew up with, I was one out of two from my neighborhood to leave high school. And guess what, guys? I'm one out of one to make it through community college, one out of one to make it out the university. And, I'm one out of one that I can say right now on the path that I'm on, coming from where I come from. So what is that? That's not science. That's not bro science. That's the primo science shit that I've been talking about. I don't fuck with, asking people or citing shit in a book. I think the best teacher in life, whatever it is, bodybuilding or not, is through your own personal trial and error. Now, going into like bro science and science, those examples, like, yeah, I think that it is helpful, to always, look back at the evidence, look back at the books, check the books, check what's in black and white, check what's been done or scientifically proven, and use that in your arsenal if you have that at your disposal. Cite other examples in the gym or in life that have that have attained something that you aspire to attain one day, and observe them. But I'm going to give you one of the best pieces of advice that I can seriously give you guys. Some of you guys will get it. Some of you guys won't. Some of you guys might dislike the video. Some of you guys might walk away fucking thanking me later for this shit. But I'm going to tell you something. Okay. The easiest way I can break this shit down, okay, is 50 Cent, man. He's a dude, regardless of what you think about 50 Cent, he's a dude that I actually admire and I look up to, because guess what? He did end up writing a book about how to get out of a situation like mine. I'm not comparing my struggle or whatever to his. His is completely different than mine, but the same mentality applies. That's what I'm saying. He actually did write a book about this shit that I wish I read when I was younger. However, he was going around the country promoting this book. And it's called The 50th Law. Y'all motherfuckers need to read that shit. Seriously. Or listen to it on iTunes, whatever. But anyways, he was going around the country promoting this book. Basically, this book is about success principles and how to be fearless and how to apply these success principles to your business or to whatever it is, whatever endeavor you are pursuing in life. Dude was at Harvard School of Business. And he said, I remember reading about this interview, he said he was nervous for the first time in his life. He was nervous because he was about to present in front of these young business students that have been pampered since birth to become business titans. They already got the connects. They are in class every single day studying, business theory and, studying people that came before them and all these, studies and scientific analysis and reading charts and all this shit about business and stocks and bonds. And here he was, a dude who didn't even get a GED, coming into Harvard School of Law to teach these motherfuckers about business. And he was like, He was thinking to himself, what the fuck am I gonna tell these people? I don't even have a GED. But then the thing that gave him the confidence to stand up there and rock the show was he was saying, you know what? I might not have a piece of paper that says that I'm anything, or I might not have a piece of paper that some motherfucker, whoever it is, legitimized and gave me a certificate saying that, yeah, I'm certified to talk about business. But I'll tell you what I do have. I have $100 million that I've made using these success principles, and these people haven't even made $1. So I can walk in here with scientific evidence or proof or not that my success principles work, but you know what? It's a certain state of mind behind what drove my success principles, so I feel qualified to talk about it. I'm not forcing it on you, but if you want to listen to the people who are receptive and the people who want to gain some knowledge, I'm going to spit this too, and if they want to absorb it, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool. I'll be on my merry way, but I think that I got something to say just because I'm not legitimized by some certificate that gives me the power, to spit some knowledge to these people. And I think that that's very true, whether it's in bodybuilding or not, guys, is that I'm going to tell you something straight up about life. I think most of the people who are watching this are probably a couple years younger than me, or around my age. And I'm telling you guys this shit from the heart, because you guys can make gains or not. It's not going to affect whether I make gains or not. I'm going to make gains regardless. But this is the thing, guys, is that when you're looking for answers, when you see somebody, a champion, a baller, you see Kobe, you see, Phil Heath, you see Mayweather, you see these champions. If you ask them, be like, hey, Mayweather, like, man, how'd you become champion of the world? How'd you get that mean left hook? Man, Phil Heath, how'd you get them 23-inch biceps, man? I'm trying to get my shit up. They're not going to be able to tell you what they did to get those. The same way that a lot of times I feel at a loss for words when people ask me, hey, Big B, Brian, when they see me in the gym, man, how the fuck you get your arms like that? How'd you get your chest like that? How'd you get this? How'd you do that? And I'm really like, you know what? Like, I can't give you an answer. Not because I don't know the mechanical process of going through certain exercise, certain motions, and eating certain types of food got my body to look like this. But I can't tell you in a sentence. I can't tell you in a workout video. I can't tell you in that. Because you know why? Because the people that have achieved shit in life, it has nothing to do with all this external shit. Like, hey man, what's Phil Heath's workout? What's he doing? What's Jay Cutler eating? Oh man, I gotta see that secret training footage of Mayweather that he don't show no one. That secret exercise Phil Heath doing in the corner of the gym that, like when everybody looks away, he runs to the corner, he does this fucking exercise. It's not that, man. It's a certain state of mind that goes along with being successful, and a certain sense of urgency and a certain characteristic of being relentless at your craft, that you're going to get this by any means necessary. That's pretty much the common thing between whether it's Donald Trump, fucking President Obama, or anybody who's achieved shit in life, whether you like them or not. You put them all in the room, they're going to have some shit to talk about because they all think the same. They just applied it to a different craft. You see what I'm saying, guys? So, like, one of my favorite Kai Green quotes, man, is that he said, like, man, if you see some dude in the gym with 22-inch arms, and your dream is to have 22-inch arms, there's certain questions that shouldn't be asked, and then there's certain answers that shouldn't be known how to be given. And it's not because anybody's an asshole or anything like that. That what he's trying to say is that that person shouldn't be able to tell you how to get it. All that you need to do is, if you see somebody with something that you want, the only thing, and this is the only thing that you need to know, is that it is possible, because you have seen it with your own two eyes. So now you know that it is possible. So now you can go out there and work towards attaining that. And whether you attain it or not, that is your journey, and that is up to you. No matter what obstacles stand in your way, no matter what genetic limitations, no matter what this, what that, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good looking enough, whatever. That's the only thing that you need to know. And that's some primo science original shit. It's not some bro science. It's not on Yungmuscle. We don't fuck with none of that shit, man. It's science, bro science, man. I'm giving you the answers like, it's like Kendrick, baby. I got gold mines in these rhymes, man. It's like you pick that shit out. Little nuggets, man. When Kendrick or Nipsey, any of these rappers that you like, a lot of them, they came up from the struggle, man. Like, I'm talking about the rappers on the top of the game that are making serious money. it's like, it's so beautiful to me because they're speaking a certain type of language that to the average motherfucker, they don't understand it. They're just in the car like, oh man, this is bad. Oh man, you see that beat break right there? It's like, oh yeah, these bitches think that I'm Kobe, whatever the fuck. They're missing the point. And it's true because there are gold mines and little nuggets of information and knowledge that these individuals are spitting in their rhymes that you're missing out on because you're not on that same wavelength. You don't have that same state of mind that these people do. So it's like dreamers, successful people, we got our own language, baby. It's like I can vibe with a motherfucker. I feel a motherfucker when he talks to me and I talk back to him and I'm vibing on the same level because I know the language he's speaking, man. I know the language he's speaking. So like, I'm sorry guys that this is another long ass video. I could go on forever. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this shit. But I just wanted to relay this to you guys is that I know you guys are looking for answers. I know you guys are hungry. But I'm going to tell you something, man. You ain't going to get it from a book and you ain't even going to get it from another motherfucker. You're going to get it from yourself. And that's what Primo Science is. And that's what Yungmuscle shit is on. And if you feel me on that, fucking subscribe to my shit, baby. I'm telling you, man. And let's vibe off of each other, man. Let me know what y'all think about the video. I might make a part 2 because y'all know I like to ramble and shit a lot. But until next time, baby, man-made hustle, man-made muscle, street-made hustle. From the black to the top, I'll see you at the gym, baby.